afoot. Hello, I'm Eric Horst, author of the popular books Training for Climbing and Maximum Climbing, among others, and I welcome you to the first in a series of training tips. I invite you to subscribe to this channel and to visit my website, trainingforclimbing.com, each month for new videos or podcasts. In this training tip, you will learn about the true power of positive thinking, and I'm going to tell you about one climber who best exemplified this character trait. Now, to begin this lesson, I want you to ponder the idea that as physical as climbing is, it is really even more so a challenging mental endeavor. Being technically sound and physically honed is not enough to navigate a high-bowl boulder problem, maximum difficulty lead, intimidating big wall, or treacherous mountain. Ultimately, you climb with your mind. Your hands and feet are simply an extension of your thoughts and will. Becoming a master climber then requires that you first become a master of your mind. Unfortunately, many climbers focus exclusively on training their body, while their mind remains weak and unknowingly sabotages their performance. Master climbers, however, understand clearly the importance of mental training, and they undoubtedly invest much more time on training and preparing their mind than they do strength training in the gym. While mental training and thought control is obviously less noticeable than the exercises used to train your body, it is important work and at times surprisingly difficult training to consistently follow through on. The fact is, however, that peak performers the world over possess an uncommon ability to control their thoughts. And if you want to make the most of your climbing, and life for that matter, then you must learn to improve the quality of your thinking. Consider that your thoughts are a precursor to almost every important action or decision for inaction, and thus the quality of your actions and your likelihood of success in any endeavor is largely controlled by your thoughts and willpower. This is especially true in a complex, arduous sport like climbing, which requires targeted training, risk and fear management, consistent course correction, and an indomitable belief in the final outcome. In future training tips, I'll touch on many different aspects of mental training, as well as what you can do to train your body and technical skills. But in this edition, I want to make a case for always possessing a positive mindset. Sure, there are cynics whose minds are filled with negative thinking, and they will of course dismiss positive thinking as self-help rubbish. In reality, when positive thinking is dovetailed with experience, self-awareness, and a bias for action, it becomes one of the most powerful forces in the universe. So what I'm talking about here isn't hollow passing thoughts of things you'd like to achieve. That's called dreaming, and it will get you nowhere. The mental skill that I'm talking about is a highly distinct positive state of mind that dwells on achieving worthy goals and that leads to a habitual bias for action and course correction until the goal is achieved. This is the MO of peak performers the world over, whether they are rock climbers, mountaineers, musicians, business persons, parents, teachers, or whatever. Let me tell you about one such peak performer and possibility thinker, a man who was without a doubt the most positive, genuinely kind, and highly motivated climber I have ever met. A man with a never-ending smile. The man is Todd Skinner, a hero and role model of mine since I met him back in 1990. Tragically, the world lost this great individual on October 23, 2006, when he fell while descending a new route on Yosemite's Leaning Tower. While I and all who knew Todd still struggle to deal with this loss 5 years after his passing, we are all better people for having known this model of positive thinking. And for Todd, it was actually positive living, because Todd definitely walked his talk. Todd Skinner was, of course, one of the most prolific climbers of all time, and in this way I take comfort in knowing that he lived 100 climbers' lives in his almost 48 years. Still, the world has lost a huge positive influence, and more important, a loving and dedicated father and husband. To gain a further glimpse into the legacy of Todd's positive ways of living, I encourage you to visit supertopo.com and search the forum and read through the hundreds of touching comments left by people who knew Todd. To gain further insight into his life and legacy, visit toddskinner.com. The common thread connecting almost every story you'll hear or read about Todd is how he exemplified the true power of what I call proactive positive thinking. That's positive thinking backed by action. In my mind, Todd was the poster boy for proactive positive thinking. In my days around Todd, I never heard him utter a negative word about anyone. It just wouldn't be productive. Countless other people had the same experience, as you will discover in reading through the Super Topo threads about Todd. All of these reflections combined, along with Todd's body of work as a climber, serve as definitive evidence that being ceaselessly positive will improve the quality of your climbing as well as the quality of your life and relationships. Todd taught this to us all by his example, and I thank him for that. In closing this training tip, I encourage you to distinguish yourself from the spray lords of climbing by striving to constantly think and act in positive ways. Remember, just as the hallmark of peak performers is proactive positive thinking, the hallmark of also-rans and losers is negative, critical, unproductive thoughts and conversation. Stay clear of such cynical individuals, as they will suck you into their black hole of negativism. Instead, seek out and favor climbing with high-quality, positive individuals, since this will produce an uplifting, synergistic effect that enhances all you do. In doing so, you will tap into the same force that empowered Todd Skinner as a climber and made him such a widely loved and respected human being. You will, in fact, become a better person, climb harder, and live a richer, more meaningful life. Well, that does it for this training tip. I hope you enjoyed it. Until the next edition, be safe, be strong, and climb on. And to my friend Todd Skinner, rest in peace until we meet again.